What's a habit you've never been able to break?
Turning the ball over.
Caitlin Clark knows there are only 14 games left in the season, and the Indiana Fever have a slim chance of making the playoffs with little room for error. She and her coach, Christy Sides, have been working hard during training sessions to secure their position in the league. However, fans have been making some harsh jokes about Sides, which she probably doesn't appreciate.
This is a time for us to really get better and work on things that we need to work on. So we're going for, about 2 hours, sometimes more. We're lifting before, trying to work out on my own too. So it feels like a normal summer for me. That's like kind of what I'm used to from college. Like that's what you did in college. You worked out basically all day.
Caitlin Clark and Christy Sides have had their ups and downs in their first season working together in the WNBA. Despite a tough start to her professional basketball career, Clark earned a spot in the league's All-Star game in Phoenix. Now she's a strong contender for the WNBA's Rookie of the Year award and might even finish the season as the league's leader in assists per game. At this critical point, Indiana needs to carefully review their game. Speculation continues about the future of head coach Christy Sides, who has faced significant criticism from fans for perceived strategic mistakes. Clark has shown in-game frustration with the second-year coach. As Clark and Sides regroup during the WNBA's Olympic break, fans are more intrigued than ever with the important stretch of games on the horizon. After some time away from the court, it's back to work for Clark. The Fever's next game is on August 16th against the Phoenix Mercury, a match likely to have direct playoff implications. Practice footage this week shows Indiana's players energized and ready to pursue their first postseason berth in 8 years. A viral video of Clark and Sides chatting away from the action has sent Fever and WNBA fans into a frenzy, given that the coach and player have not always seemed to be on the same page, especially when the Fever, now 11-15, began the season with 10 losses in their first 13 games. This interaction is notable. One fan on X wrote, "Sides is not the one," though the content of the conversation was not revealed. Another thought that Clark had spotted the reporter's camera and wanted to show how much she and Sides get along. Or does the coach have an issue with Clark's rising stardom? Caitlin Clark tries to maintain a low profile off the court, but the WNBA rookie is undeniably a rock star. She quickly embraced the spotlight at a Jordan Davis concert. When she pulled Lexi Hull on stage, it was clear that her best friend wasn't as comfortable with all the attention.
We win games when we hold teams below, I think, 84 points. Like, we're scoring the ball perfectly fine. That's not our problem. And obviously our offense is only going to get better and better. But if we can, find a way to get rid of 7 points every single game, I think we'll be in a position to be a lot more successful down the stretch.
Caitlin Clark lives like a rock star, and her teammates are adjusting to the extra attention she brings. The women's basketball powerhouse attracts hordes of fans wherever she goes, along with numerous off-court opportunities. At the Jordan Davis concert in Indianapolis, Clark was invited on stage, and unsurprisingly, the crowd went wild. She was in her element, singing along enthusiastically and engaging with the audience, while Hull seemed more reserved. Clark is ready to swap the basketball court for the golf course during her month-long break from the WNBA after being left off the Team USA roster for the Paris Olympics. The standout rookie plans to make the most of her time off by focusing on her golf game and breaking in a new set of clubs. "I'm going to try to play more golf over the break," Clark said. "I haven't been out there yet this year. I've got new clubs I need to break in and see how they swing." Reflecting on her college days, Clark shared that she and her Iowa teammates often played twilight golf during the summer. With her break ahead, she might find new golfing companions among her Indiana Fever teammates. "I haven't teed up with any teammates yet, but Lexi Hull and head coach Christy Sides both play a bit. Add Grace Berger to the mix, and that's a foursome ready to dominate any local scramble." Clark was surprised to learn that her teammate Grace Berger, who recently won a state championship in golf, could also join her on the links. This new connection could offer Clark some exciting golf opportunities during her time off. That's what we need to do.
That is like what we need to do, what she thinks these next couple weeks. And that's just what we keep talking about. The more they play together, the more that chemistry just builds, and then the more we can just, tweak things here and there. But I love where we ended. I know, Dallas.
The narrative that Christy Sides is not the ideal coach for the Indiana Fever has become a troubling development for the franchise this season. From online petitions to continuous backlash, the 47-year-old has faced harsh scrutiny regarding her handling of Caitlin Clark and the rest of the team. Amidst all this adversity, she appears to be receiving valuable advice from Fever's GM Lynn Dunn. The two-time WNBA All-Star Game head coach recently appeared on the Locked On Women's Basketball podcast, sharing her thoughts on various various topics. She discussed Sides' impact on Indiana. Dunn addressed the ongoing criticism directed at Sides despite the team's turnaround. "I was really taken aback by some of the harsh comments I'm seeing towards coaches," Dunn said. "At the beginning of the season, Indiana Fever's campaign was going downhill. The first 10 games saw them end on the winning side just twice. Consequently, there was massive outrage among supporters, leading to demands for big changes in the coaching staff. Regardless, the team bounced back from this predicament and is now looking like a favorite to make the playoffs. Still, there's dissatisfaction among fans." Dunn continued, revealing her mantra for dealing with negativity. "We had to block out the noise. What's happening on the outside doesn't matter, especially from people who post things that you don't even know. If you don't know that person, then it's got no value. Only listen to people that you trust, love, and care about. All that other noise has got to be blocked out." While Christy Sides is under some negative scrutiny, her protege Caitlin Clark is finding herself on the more positive side of things. The recent game between Team USA and Japan gained a lot of attraction for all the right reasons, and one of them involved Caitlin Clark. Apparently, one Japanese fan showed up at the Pierre Mauroy Stadium with a very eye-catching banner. The fan wrote, "You need Caitlin Clark to beat us," pointing towards Team USA before the start of the game. Following this, NBA Sports Bay Area reporter Kenneth Burke spotted a group of players, including Aja Wilson, Brittany Griner, and Alyssa Thomas, pointing and sharing a lighthearted moment together. Hardly anyone can deny the massive impact of Caitlin Clark on the sport. She has played an instrumental part in completely revolutionizing various aspects of women's basketball. With all the business in the WNBA soon, it's going to be interesting to see what more she can produce for the franchise. Her stats are some of the best in the WNBA, and her exclusion from Team USA was controversial to many. On a recent episode of the Gold Standard podcast, WNBA legend Lisa Leslie spoke about the snubs. When jokingly asked if Team USA should call her if they need a replacement, she said, "Nah, they should definitely call Caitlin Clark. They ought to call Angel Reese and Arike Ogunbowale. I don't know how they left the country without them." Leslie also added that there's more to making Team USA than individual production, which is especially relevant in Clark's case. "The committee's got a tough job," Leslie said. "It's not just about basketball, it's about chemistry. It's about sometimes players showing up for different camps that build up to the Olympics. It's not just about talent." Because Clark's Iowa team made a deep tournament run last season, she was unable to attend Team USA's training camp. As Leslie suggested, this could have played a role in her being left off the team. The whole discussion started because Leslie was talking about people who were left off the roster. She emphasized the importance of training camp, suggesting that's why Clark was snubbed from the team. So anyway, what are your thoughts on all this? Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below.